If you could travel back in time several hundred years, do you think you'd survive and thrive, or would you be burnt at the stake for being a witch? Well, now you can find out. Welcome to PastMaster, the show turning history into an AI-powered choose-your-own-adventure game. On this week's episode, Kim and Alice from Fetch the Smelling Salts podcast are on a mission to scare Henry VIII into changing his ways.
So we've got to get to Catherine first,
Yes.
right? Oh, but first, we need to get to the linens.
We can be merchants.
Laundresses?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Seamstress.
all we need is some white sheets.
Oh, you've got to be a ghost, aren't you?
No?
Not a ghost.
Two ghosts.
But how will they sneak past all the guards and staff without getting caught?
We'll get to a secure location.
So we meet some maids. You go, hey girl, hey.
Yeah. I heard she's got some violent diarrhea in there. We're just going to go in and take care of that.
It's the diarrhea service.
Oh, they had swan stuffed with oysters again last night at banquet.
We've got to bring in the heavies.
Yeah.
Just as you're completing your ghostly transformation, a young lady in waiting gasps at the sight of you. Saints preserve us! Alice cuts her off. Hey girl, hey, we're the diarrhea service.
That jovial greeting and the diarrhea service really do clash.
It's okay to take pride in your work.
And can Ryan maintain a passable Spanish accent? Oh god, I've got to do the Queen now. This
She's
is what the
Spanish,
lady
remember?
Is she? Yeah. Perhaps not demons, the Queen replies in her Spanish accent to English. Leave me, I wish to pray in solitude. I'm a gravelly old Spanish lady, obviously. Tan, good to see you remotely.
Good to see you remotely,
How
Ryan.
come we're
How you
remote? What's
doing?
going on? I'm good. A little bit tired after my long run. Basically realised that I've lost all my fitness and I'm getting old and cranky. So yeah, fun times.
Well, seeing as you're feeling old and cranky, we have got the perfect guest because they are going to rejuvenate and bring all sorts of energy.
I thought you were going to say because we're old.
I'm also old and cranky. Come on.
That would have been the most rudest, most unprofessional intro
Speaking of
ever.
old and cranky, these dusty bitches.
So we are delighted to welcome back Kim and Alice from Fetch the Smelling Salts. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So we had such a great time when you guys first came on the show. I think you really lent into it. Going back to Regency England to set a farting pug amongst the guests is still one of my favourite Pastmaster moments.
Yay, but now we're getting serious. We have a serious task ahead of us.
So have you been given some thought as to which kinds of eras you might want to revisit or go back to?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And what have you got in mind? Am I right in thinking this is to do with a certain monarch who is the poster boy of Pastmaster? And what might have inspired you to get involved with Henry VIII?
Well, we're two women, and so our interest in Henry VIII is mostly to do with his wives. And I think, like most women who have any kind of interest in history, we wish we could just swoop down into the past and scoop up Henry VIII's wives and just carry them away to safety so that they couldn't be bothered by this asshole anymore.
Yeah.
And he was an asshole, wasn't he?
He was
Yeah.
such an asshole. Oh, wait. Speaking of asshole, Alice, you have a lovely asshole Henry VIII joke.
I don't know when it's appropriate to get into these.
Well, that's a nice segue.
Are you going to sort of sprinkle these jokes through the episode like a delightful, rude garnish?
I was going to give a preamble about how we didn't do any research, but we did write jokes.
That's
Go on,
kind of
hit us with one of your jokes.
Okay. My caveat is we were supposed to try to research the Tudor period because we're not British people. We're an American and a Singaporean. And so we didn't do that. So instead, we decided to sit down last night and write some roast jokes to just roast Henry VIII. Because historians, we are not. But comedians, we are also not. So, are you ready? Henry VIII is such a massive asshole. The last guy who challenged him to fisticuffs lost an arm.
Nope.
No?
Keep us right.
Keith hates these jokes. He says they require too much work.
Is it something to do with like a fist going up his asshole?
Right, he's such a massive asshole that if someone tried to
That
punch
goes all
him,
the way
he'd just
in.
lose an arm.
Got it.
Okay.
Got you. It's good. It's good stuff.
I'll add the sound effects
The
after.
laughter track.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have you seen Wolf Hall on the BBC?
No, we're going to cover it though. So the reason we wanted to talk about Henry VIII in particular right now is that we on our podcast, Fetch the Smelling Salts, are entering into our Tudor era. So we are going to have a Tudor historian come on and try to like teach us about Tudor history while we talk about all the different like Tudor adaptations that are out there. And then we're going to cover the first season of Wolf Hall.
Awesome.
With our new expert knowledge.
Superb. That'd be so much fun.
So maybe we should have come on after you've done all that learning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But this is an exploratory just to get into the headspace of King Henry VIII's court.
This is like the warm-up.
We do have a plan.
Okay.
We're not just going in blind. Like we have talked about what we're going to try to do, and I do think we have a foolproof plan.
Excellent.
Perfect. Well, we'll find out.
Your goal here is to save his wives, broadly.
Yes. And so like we had a long discussion about what that would actually look like and what we would have to do just to make sure that everybody is like safe and relatively happy.
Yeah, Alice vetoed me killing him.
Right. So at the beginning of this discussion, I was like, so how do we prevent Henry VIII? And Kim was immediately
Kill
like,
that guy.
yeah.
Well, sometimes it's quite hard to kill people on PastMaster. Like Game Master often goes, nope.
I'm actually kind of hoping that it knows a lot about the period so that we can see what the after effects are going to be. So I'm hoping that we're successful, but then somehow England goes crazy.
Oh, are we gonna
as
have a
result.
song after this? Are you guys gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Big time. Yeah, so listen out. At the very end, we'll play the AI-generated version of today's episode as a song. I've also just asked Claude for a fact sheet about Henry VIII because I also don't really know anything about him. So, yeah, born June 28th, 1491 at Greenwich Palace, around the corner from me. Died January 28th, 1547 at Whitehall Palace. So he's only 55. 6 marriages, major achievements, established the Church of England, dissolved monasteries, expanded the Royal Navy and reformed government administration. 6'2", apparently. So
Yeah, at a time when the average height was like 5'5".
yeah. So he must have been very imposing because he's obviously obese as well. So, yeah. Leg
Did you
ulcers.
say a beast?
Obese.
Both. Sorry.
Both.
Yeah.
He was a beast and obese.
Every time they have those like portraits of him sitting on a horse, I'm like, oh man, that poor horse.
Yeah.
I think he used to have like what do you call them? Not a tribe of horses, but what's a collective of horses? Herd? I don't know.
Herd,
yeah.
yeah.
Because they all
But
died.
he used to go
one
hunting
by
with
one.
a herd of horses, so that when one got exhausted, they would just like get in a new one, pop him on, and carry on.
Oh, I just thought you meant like they would kind of like lash two together side by side. And he would
He'd be like
try
surfing them like
a horizontal split.
Yeah, like double horsepower. Here's a quick reminder on how this works. We've created a set of instructions that we give to an AI tool like ChatGPT. And this essentially tells it all of the rules of the game. The AI then acts as our game master and it decides what happens after each action that we give it. One of us will be the player, and one of us will read out what the game master says, complete with terrible attempts at accents. It's a bit like the original text adventure RPG games, or one of those choose your own adventure books where you have various options on how to proceed. Only with the AI, it's open-ended, so anything can happen, and usually does.
And we're definitely using Claude today. We're not going DeepSeek like Chinese deep state or anything. Okay.
No, we're just going to keep it safe with Claude. This is, as of the time of recording, the latest and greatest Claude, so it's 3.7, supposedly the smartest, as they always claim to be. But we'll see. So I've fired up the prompts. Shall we dive in? Welcome, brave traveller, to PastMaster. I am your Game Master, guardian of the timelines and keeper of historical secrets. You stand at the threshold of a grand adventure through time. With your modern knowledge as your weapon, you attempt to reshape the course of history itself. Before we begin, what is your name? So have you got a name in mind? Are you going to be two people, or are you going to be
one entity, or are you like
No, we're
two-player?
we're two people. So I think we can just use our regular. We're gonna be in disguise.
Okay.
So I think we can just use our regular names.
So I just
Yeah.
say we are Kim and Alice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's important that we be allowed to bring things.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've thought about this.
Well, what do you want to bring? Do you want to drop that in at the start?
Sure.
I'm gonna bring a smoke machine.
A smoke
But
machine.
importantly, a battery-powered
Yes.
smoke machine.
Ah.
A miniature travel one.
With lots of batteries. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this like a dry ice machine rather than smoke?
Yeah, like a dry ice machine. Like it creates like a fog.
Yeah, sweet.
It's basically a big vape that just
Look
produces
for
output.
for you know.
And I'm gonna bring.
There you go.
Excellent effect.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring like a Halloween makeup palette.
Okay.
Didn't you have you had makeup last time, right?
That
your
was
last
not
adventure.
something that I brought. That is something that the AI decided
Yes,
that
that's
true.
I was very skilled at,
Okay.
which I appreciate.
Ah, Kim and Alice, a duo of time travelers. How fascinating. Two minds are certainly better than one when tampering with the fabric of history. I must know when you want to go. What era of history would you like to explore? So I put, we would like to go back to King Henry VIII times to save his wives. We shall bring with us a battery-powered smoke machine and Halloween makeup palette. That's done.
Would it help to have a particular year? We would like to go back to 1522, right?
Yes.
Is that when he was married to Catherine of Aragon? He
He's
had been
married
for
to
some
Catherine
time.
of Aragon.
Yes.
He had been for some time. This is the year that he first met Anne Boleyn.
Yeah, so he's had his daughter. He's had Mary. Not happy, that he has no son and stuff. And he's met Anne Boleyn. Has he met her yet?
He's met Anne
Okay,
Boleyn.
He's
Yeah.
met Anne Boleyn, okay.
Ha! The court of King Henry VIII in 1522, you say? An intriguing choice, Kim and Alice, and your noble quest to save his wives from their grim fates. How charmingly optimistic.
Ooh, that sounds like he's going to make it hard.
I mean, does he always have this
He
attitude?
does though. Actually.
It's quite sassy.
So in 1522, Henry had only recently begun his reign of matrimonial terror. Catherine of Aragon is still his queen, though her position grows precarious as she has failed to produce a male heir. Anne Boleyn has just returned from France and will soon catch the king's wandering eye. The bloody parades of wives has not yet begun. I see you wish to bring a battery-powered smoke machine and Halloween makeup. Curious tools for medieval court intrigue. And it's given you a victory condition. So for this adventure, your victory condition should be alter a historically significant event, specifically the fate of at least one of Henry's wives. There you go. So you don't have to say
Okay,
more,
at least one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hoping for a domino effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so a final question. So before we send you back in time, what skills or knowledge do you possess that might help you succeed? I mean, you could just say good at using a smoke machine and makeup palette.
That's true, but we're both
Catholics,
Catholic bitches.
because it's important for this, because we need to
Yeah.
do a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Catholicism.
So we have knowledge of of Catholic shit.
yes.
I mean the Catholic
Catholic
Church.
superstition.
So you're skilled in the art of Catholicism. Catholic dogma.
Yeah.
Catholicism. Yep.
We can cross ourselves like nobody's business.
Also, by the way, hasn't Lent started?
Yes.
See, we have God on our side.
So we're both Catholics. We have knowledge of all that dogma. Catholics with knowledge of dogma, eh? Most intriguing. The religious tensions of Henry's court will be the perfect backdrop for your particular expertise. You arrive in England that is still firmly Catholic. Henry won't break with Rome for several years yet, and your understanding of Catholic doctrine could prove valuable in navigating the court's religious politics.
Now who's optimistic?
Claude.
So this is it's saying the portal begins to pulse with greater intensity. Very well, Kim and Alice, prepare yourselves. You should be transported to the Tudor court of 1522. Game Master waves spectral hand dramatically. Claude, for some reason, always gives these little stage directions,
Flourishes.
and I never know whether to read them out because if I just act them out, it was a bit weird. But it's given me a whoosh, whoosh. You arrive on a dirt road leading to Hampton Court Palace. It's a crisp spring morning in 1522, and you're dressed in modest but respectable Tudor-era clothing. Nothing that would mark you out as nobility, but decent enough to pass as merchants or scholars. Your smoke machine and makeup palette are tucked safely in a leather satchel. In the distance, you see the magnificent palace where King Henry VIII is currently residing with Queen Catherine of Aragon. Guards stand at attention at the main gates, and various courtiers, servants, and petitioners mill about. So, what do you do first?
We've got to wait for nightfall, right?
Yeah, because it's not time yet. Well, unless we can go in and like hang out and sneak in and wait.
Okay. We've got to just sneak until we can... No. Sorry.
Don't talk much.
Make sure they can hear us. So we've got to get to Catherine first,
Yes.
right? Okay.
But she has to be sleeping, or about to sleep, and saying her prayers.
Okay. So what? Yeah. we got to get to her bedchamber.
Okay.
But first we need to get to the linens.
Oh yeah, gotta get a linen closet. Okay, so we gotta make friends with the maids and stuff.
Okay.
The laundry maids.
Let's just try to get our way to the laundry room.
Yeah. Okay. So we can be merchants. We can be. We will pretend to be merchants.
Laundresses?
Yeah. Coming to exchange
Cloth merchants.
Cloth merchants. We'll be like, here you go. Let's go speak to your head laundry person.
Yeah.
Look at these lovely
About-
linens from God knows where.
Why don't you make it like, I don't know, the finest satins and velour?
You could say we've got a brochure.
Yeah. With little square samples, and you can look at colourful stuff.
Swatches.
Swatches,
Little
yes.
swatches of...
Yes.
Just need to get into the linens.
So, just a point of order. Would the laundry maids, wouldn't there not be like the tailors or something, or whoever makes the clothes would...
Yeah, so honestly,
Seamstress.
all we need is some white sheets.
I really want to know why you need these sheets. Are you going to be like a ghost or something? Oh, you're going to be a ghost, aren't you?
No.
Not a ghost.
Two ghosts.
A ghost duo. Cloth merchants, a clever disguise indeed. The Tudor court was obsessed with displays of wealth through fine fabrics, so you've chosen your cover well. You approach the palace gates.
Totally planned this.
You approach the palace gates with your satchel and brochure of satin samples. The guard eyes you with suspicion at first, but when you mention the business with the laundry maids and display your fabric samples, they seem satisfied. New merchants, eh? One guard grunts. The servant entrance is round the side. Don't be getting any ideas about wandering where you don't belong. So, following his directions, you make your way to the servants' entrance, where a harried-looking steward barely gives you a second glance before waving you through. Well, that seems pretty easy.
Yay.
The palace is bustling with activities. Servants are scurrying around carrying linens, food, and various items to the royal household. So after asking for directions from a few busy servants, you're pointed towards the laundry room, where large, steamy chambers are filled with women hard at work, washing, drying, and pressing the mountains of linen required by the royal household. The head laundress, a stout woman with weathered hands and sharp eyes, approaches you. What's this then? More fancy cloth? As if His Majesty doesn't have enough finery already. She wipes her hands on her apron, eyeing your samples with practiced scrutiny. Let's see what you're peddling then. So the laundry room is indeed full of white sheets hanging to dry and large piles of clean linens. So what do you say to the head laundress, and how do you plan to get your hands on those sheets?
Probably one of us should distract her and with a sales pitch, and one of us should just grab a couple sheets in the haze of the...
In the smoke.
The mist.
Yeah.
The mist, yeah. The steam. All of the steam. And then we'll scuttle up some backstairs.
Yeah.
So what's the sales pitch? Just like flogging your wares.
Yeah. I'll be like, look at this finest silk from China, finest muslin from India.
Because she was quite sassy, like saying he's got it all. So you could be like, no,
Right.
this satin, this silk shits on what you've got currently. It's
Yeah, it would be like China. Ever heard of it?
Exactly. And this is like pre-East India Company. So they ain't got shit from India yet. So I got connections.
Yeah.
So I guess do the sales pitch whilst the other one grabs the sheets, and then we'll come to the escaping bit in a sec.
And of course we're gonna do it in the don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
There's
probably a copyright thing on
yeah.
that, though.
Boo.
The classic distraction maneuver. Let's see how your scheme unfolds in the busy laundry rooms of Hampton Court. Kim steps forward, unfolding your brochure with a flourish. Madam Laundress, feast your eyes upon the fabrics the likes of which England has never seen. You produce a swatch of shimmering silk, holding it up so it catches the light, streaming through the narrow windows. This, my good woman, is the finest silk, directly from Cathay itself. And this, you produce another sample, is muslin of such quality that the Maharajas of India would envy its owner. Imagine the king's delight if his sheets were crafted from such exquisite materials. The head laundress's eyes widen with genuine interest. Your knowledge of exotic fabrics, even if somewhat embellished, is convincing enough. Several other laundry maids gather around, oohing and ahhing at the colourful samples. Oh. Well, I never, the head laundress murmurs, running her callous fingers over the fabrics. His Majesty does love his luxuries. Meanwhile, Alice, seizing the opportunity, with the steam from the hot washing tubs providing a misty cover, you casually make your way towards a stack of freshly laundered white sheets. The other maids are thoroughly distracted by Kim's enthusiastic sales pitch about the exotic East, and you manage to roll up 2 large sheets and tuck them under your arm, then slip back to Kim's side without anyone noticing. What do you do next?
So be like, you know what? I'm gonna leave this with you. Have a look, see, have a consider. Here's my card. You can call me.
What does it say? What's your job title on your card?
Muslim monger.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Silk seller and muslin monger. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go around the local nobility. We'll be back in a few days.
Yeah.
And then are you going to sort of sneakily wend your way up the stairs?
Yeah, we're going to go up the servants' passage. We've got to get out of our period-appropriate clothing and wrap these sheets around us in a sort of toga Grecian kind of.
Oh, wait. Do we want to sneak into her room first and just hide there, and then we can change? Because we gotta get to her room though. We can't be walking around in the stuff.
Yeah, I'm worried you're going to get stuck on the staircase trying to take your clothes off and somebody's going to come
we'll get to a secure location in her chambers, and then.
Do you want to hide in a cupboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we meet some maids. We go, hey girl, hey.
Yeah. I heard she's got some violent diarrhea in there. We're just gonna go in and take care of that, and she'll be like, "Oh, thank goodness."
Yeah. I'm going for a smoke break.
I hate that job.
It's the diarrhea service.
No, what didn't they have
Jeez.
They had an official wiper and stuff.
Yeah.
They had
I think this is a separate service. This is they had swan stuffed with oysters again last night at banquet. So
yeah,
we've had to bring in the heavies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. Swan stuffed with oysters.
I bet that was a real thing.
Sure it was.
I just love the idea of you going up to King Henry's maids and going, "Hey girl, hey. What's happening?"
Yes, there is ample hay upon the floors.
Just out of curiosity, do you think you might drop in some of your King Henry VIII jokes into the episode, or are they?
I think
should they be kept separate?
Between you and I, when we're ghosts, that might be a good opportunity to roast. But he might be as confused as everyone else was.
I would love to see if Claude is what Claude's reaction is to your Henry VIII jokes, Alice. Whether Claude is just banging the table and can't contain itself.
The Game Master howls with laughter. Now that is absurd. This is what time travel is all about. Your audacity is as impressive as it is absurd. So Kim smoothly hands over the business card, a clever anachronism that the laundress accepts without question, likely assuming it's just a fancy note. I'll leave these samples with you to show Her Majesty's ladies. They'll be fighting over who gets the first new bed sheets. The laundry maids seem to be thoroughly charmed by your exotic wares. You make a hasty exit, sheets successfully pilfered, and navigate the labyrinthine corridors of Hampton Court. The servants' staircases are narrow and dimly lit and bustling with activity, but you manage to blend in, looking purposeful as you ascend towards the royal apartments. Through sheer luck, or perhaps the Game Master's amusement of your ridiculous plan, you stumble.
Game Master has a little crush on us.
Yeah, it's like, oh. You stumble upon the information that Queen Catherine is currently at prayer in the chapel, leaving her chambers temporarily vacant except for the occasional lady-in-waiting. So, you find a small antechamber near the Queen's quarters and quickly transform yourselves into ghosts with the purloined sheets. You look absolutely ridiculous. Oh, you're not supposed to be ghosts. Did I put that in wrong?
Not supposed to be ghosts, but that's okay.
Well, you're just wearing the sheets though, right?
No. We've got like a toga situation going
crap.
on.
Well, we'll just have to just rectify that.
It's
in the next
okay.
bit. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of gone along with this now.
This is still phase one. This is still phase one of our plan. The sheets are essential for both.
The Tudor period lacked our modern ghost iconography, so it might work. Just as you're completing your ghostly transformation, a young lady-in-waiting rounds the corner and gasps at the sight of you. "Saints preserve us! What manner of..." Alice cuts her off with a prepared excuse. "Hey girl, hey, we're the diarrhea service."
But those two things, that jovial greeting and the diarrhea service really do clash.
I heard the Queen has a little issue.
We're like,
It's okay to take pride in your work.
I heard the Queen has a little issue. We'll sort it. The Game Master wipes away tears of mirth. The lady-in-waiting looks utterly baffled by your explanation. This makes no sense in Tudor England. It's capitalised that. Her confusion quickly turns to alarm and she backs away, crossing herself rapidly. "Demons! Spanish demons come to torment our Queen!" She shrieks and then turns and flees down the corridor, calling for the guards.
Come on.
Well, that didn't quite go according to plan, did it?
We got this.
So he says you have moments before the corridor fills with armed guards. The Queen's chambers are to your right, and a window overlooking the gardens are to your left. Straight ahead is a door that may lead to who knows where. What do you do now, my sheet-clad time travellers?
nice.
Okay, because here's the thing. We're gonna be angels.
Ah.
Oh. Nice. Because they would have been big on angels, right? Like your
They're big on
gods,
angels.
angels, demons.
Exactly.
They believed in that shit.
Yeah, you know, and she just came from like chapel. She's on in like holy
she's
mode
full of it.
and stuff.
Do you have angel voices prepared to deploy?
No, but that won't stop us.
Okay, so
Perfect.
you're going to go in the Queen's chambers and hide, and you're togered up.
Yeah.
Okay. A bold choice into the lion's den itself. So you dash into Queen Catherine's private chambers just as the distant sound of armoured footsteps and alarmed voices echo down the corridor. The royal apartments are lavishly appointed. Rich tapestries adorn the walls. Ornate furniture sits on thick carpets, and the scent of exotic perfume hangs in the air. Working frantically, you transform your ghost costumes into more angelic-looking togas, draping the sheets in the classical style. Kim uses a bit of gold trim from a nearby curtain to fashion a makeshift halo, while Alice strikes a pious pose.
Claude's
Just in
helping
time
us.
to. Yeah, he's helping. Just in time to, you dive behind a large ornamental screen in the corner of the chamber, decorated with painted scenes of biblical stories. Quite fitting for your new angelic personas. You've barely hidden when the door bursts open and several guards rush in, followed by the frantic lady-in-waiting. "I swear they were demons right here," she insists, pointing around the apparently empty room. The captain of the guard scowls. "It's nothing here, Lady Margaret. Perhaps you saw a shadow, or I saw what I saw," she protests. The guards conduct a cursory search of the chambers, but they're clearly uncomfortable invading the Queen's private space and don't look very thoroughly. After a minute, the captain sighs. "Her Majesty will return from the chapel soon. We'll station guards outside her door. If these demons return, we'll catch them." They exit, leaving you still hidden behind the screen. So you hear the guards position themselves outside the door. You're safe for the moment, but now you're trapped in Queen Catherine of Aragon's private chambers, and she's on her way. There is a gap in the screen. You can see various items that might be useful. A writing desk with quills and paper. A small chest that might contain jewellery. A prayer book on the side table. And a window that leads to a small balcony. It's really leaning into the kind of text adventure element today.
Window leading to
Like the
balcony.
objects that you want to pick up.
Window leading to balcony. Remember this might be useful for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the smoke machine.
So what's your next move, it says?
I'd say...
So what? We're just like blending into the background, right? Right now we're angels. We're angels. We're just standing.
We just gotta wait for her to come back. So we could either stay where we are hidden, or if we think it would be a better entrance, we could go and hide on the balcony.
Yeah, let's go hide at the balcony.
You're gonna hide on the balcony?
Yeah, let's go hide at the balcony, and then we can make a dramatic entrance.
Yeah, just make sure we're hidden. Should we need like a throw or something? Or are there pot plants already out there?
Yeah, can we hide against something? Like, is there like...
Probably if we just duck.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're hiding on the balcony.
You're hiding on the balcony. I've already pressed go.
And then we're practicing our poses that we're going to come out in.
A hasty exit to the balcony. Wise move. You slip through the window onto a small stone balcony just as the door to the Queen's chambers open once again. The balcony is narrow but decorated with several large potted plants, rosemary and lavender primarily, and their fragrances are strong in the spring air, so you duck behind these aromatic shrubs, pulling your makeshift togas close to avoid any fabric catching the breeze. From your hiding place, you have an excellent view of Hampton Court Palace gardens below. Formal paths, meticulously maintained hedges, and spring flowers just beginning to bloom. Inside the chamber, Queen Catherine of Aragon enters with 2 ladies-in-waiting. At 37 years old, she carries herself with dignity, despite the strains of recent years. Her auburn hair is tucked beneath an elegant hood, and she wears a richly embroidered gown of deep blue. Lady... Oh, God, I've got to do the Queen now.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, no, wait.
She's Spanish, remember?
Is she?
Yeah. Oh, it's a lady in waiting.
You do a mean Spanish accent, don't you?
No.
It's quite gravelly, though. I'm not sure that would...
I did a Pablo Escobar. Lady Margaret has quite the imagination, one lady comments with a chuckle. Demons in your Majesty's chambers? Perhaps not demons, the Queen replies in her Spanish accented English. But this talk does unsettle me. The King has been distant of late. Her voice holds a note of sadness and worry. Nonsense, Your Majesty, the second lady reassures her. His Majesty simply has many affairs of state to attend to. Queen Catherine sits at her prie-dieu, opening her prayer book. Ah, see, you probably could have written something in the prayer book. Leave me, I wish to pray in solitude. I'm a gravelly old Spanish lady, obviously.
Obviously.
It doesn't say that. The ladies curtsy withdraw, closing the door behind them. Now it's just you two on the balcony, hidden behind potted plants, with the Queen of England mere feet away, deep in prayer. You can hear her mumbling prayers in Latin, prayers you might understand given your Catholic background. From her words, you gather that she's praying for her son and for the King's affection to return to her and for guidance in these troubling times. So, what do you do?
Oh, yeah, son. Oh, yeah, he's gonna die. Alice, I want to make a comment on her blue dress. I'm gonna be like, because you wearing the same color as Our Lady in Heaven.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Quick huddle. I think it's time to bust out the smoke machine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you work up a kind of a good puff of fog behind the windows before we throw them open, and then we'll come in with our poses, and then we've got to say the angel thing.
Yes.
Be not afraid.
Yes.
And then should we throw in a Kyrie eleison?
Yeah. Kyrie eleison. No, one says Kyrie eleison, the other one says Christe eleison.
Yeah.
Because too.
We'll come out of the fog. We'll go, be not afraid.
And then Kyrie eleison, Christe
we'll get our Latin in. Yeah. Christe eleison.
And then we're like, sweet lady, I see you're wearing the wonderful colors of Our Lady in Heaven.
We knew that today, this day, the morning of this morning was the morning that we should come to you. We... the angels of heaven. Kim and Alice.
Yes.
By the way, this is a perfect little scene for some AI art.
Yes.
Huge clouds of billowing dry ice with you two in your togas as angels.
Yeah.
With Ryan as Queen.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
Please.
Sorry, mate.
Wearing a blue dress, don't forget, very important, blue dress.
Blue dress.
It says the game master leans forward with unbridled delight. It's really getting excited about this.
Oh, Game Master.
Now we're talking. A proper angelic visitation straight out of a medieval artwork. You set up your smoke machine behind the herbs, and with a quiet whir that thankfully Queen Catherine doesn't hear above her prayers, a cloud of mysterious fog begins to billow. You wait for just the right moment when the mist has created a subtly ethereal backdrop, and then you dramatically swing the window open. The sudden movement and rush of misty air causes Queen Catherine to gasp and turn from her devotions. Her eyes widen in shock as you step through the foggy portal in your makeshift togas, arms outstretched in your best angelic poses. "Be not afraid!" you declare in powerful unison, your voices echoing dramatically through the royal chamber. "Kyrie eleison, Christe eleison," you intone, the ancient Greek prayer familiar to any Catholic ear. Queen Catherine falls to her knees, her prayer book tumbling from her hands. Her face is a mask of absolute astonishment and religious awe. She crosses herself rapidly. "Angels, Lord have mercy, as my faith has been rewarded with a heavenly visitation," she whispers, trembling. You compliment her about her blue gown, the colour associated with the Virgin Mary. It strikes a particularly resonant chord. Her eyes fill with tears. "Angels, Kim and Alice, I have not heard such heavenly messages," she says, hesitantly, but her Catholic education has taught her that there are numerous angels unknown to mortal knowledge. Oh, so the Game Master rubs his hands eagerly together. We're now time travellers. You've successfully convinced Queen Catherine of Aragon that you're divine messengers. What heavenly wisdom will you impart to potentially change the course of Tudor history?
Okay, so we need to warn her that she's right in her suspicions that Henry is
About this
getting worried, and that he has caught sight of a court lady who might cause some trouble. So we're here to help her to try to ensure that Henry doesn't stray and that little 6-year-old Mary can become queen someday. So we need her to let us stay in the court palace, in the palace as her ladies in waiting in disguise, at least until nightfall.
With the smoke still swirling dramatically around you, you step forward with divine purpose. Queen Catherine remains on her knees, her face upturned in reverent awe. "Blessed Catherine," Kim intoned solemnly, "your prayers have indeed reached the heavenly realm. We come with both warning and guidance." Alice nods gravely. "Your suspicions about your royal husband are not unfounded. The king's eyes have indeed wandered to another court lady, whose presence threatens not just your marriage, but the very faith of England." Catherine gasps, clutching her rosary tighter. "I feared as much. Is it that Boleyn girl who has returned from France? I've seen how he looks at her during festivities." "Heaven sees all," you respond cryptically, allowing her to draw her own conclusions. "But we have been sent to help prevent disaster, both for you and for all England." The Queen's eyes fill with grateful tears. "Tell me what I must do, holy messengers. I am your humble servant." "We must remain close to you, to observe and guide, until nightfall, when we receive further divine instructions. We must disguise ourselves as mortal ladies attending you so as not to cause uproar in the court." Catherine nods eagerly. Of course. I shall introduce you as distant cousins, newly arrived from Spain," you supply helpfully.
You know where you're from.
From Spain, you know?
Spain.
She's flustered.
Yeah. "I shall summon my most trusted lady to help arrange quarters for you," Catherine says. "Lady Maria de Salinas has been with me since I came to England as a bride. She will help maintain your secret." She rings a small bell, and moments later her Spanish lady-in-waiting enters, and after hurried whispered explanation that, as Lady Maria crossing herself repeatedly and staring at you in wonder, arrangements are made. The sun will set in a few hours, giving you time to implement whatever plan you have in mind. So what do you do?
Right. So this is something that my Tudor historian friend told me, is that there used to be I hope at Hampton Court Palace, like just a passageway between Henry's room and Catherine's room. So they were in separate bedchambers, but they could visit each other without having to go through any of the public corridors.
Yeah.
So now that we have access to Catherine and her bedchamber, we can go up to Henry's bedchamber through that private passageway.
So you wait till night time, then you go through the passageway.
We're going to need another costume change. We need our sheets back on. And we need our
makeup. And the smoke machine again.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to really torment this guy. You're going to really mess with his head.
This is the hope. Okay, so our plan is to go in as ghosts of his mother and father to be like, you're a fucking tool and a disappointment. So are you suggesting we should not come in that hot?
I love it.
No.
Like, I think we'll just
fucking tool is the language to use.
Yes.
We're dressed up as ghosts, and then we'll show up at the foot of his bed, and we'll say, "Don't you recognize us? It's me, your mom, and me, your dad."
Henry! Be like, mama to you.
It's me, Elizabeth. Who's gonna be who?
Doesn't matter.
Do you want to be Henry VII or Elizabeth of York?
I'm gonna be Elizabeth of York. I'm gonna be all Asian mama.
Yeah, I feel like. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, did I not raise you to do this?
And I'll just roast him.
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him some shit about how messy his room is first.
Definitely.
Oh, this is delicious. Going straight for the psychological terror approach with Henry VIII himself. Bold move, time travellers. Bold move. As evening falls, Queen Catherine discreetly shows you the hidden passage connecting her chambers to the king's, a relic from more affectionate times when the royal couple would visit each other privately. She believes you'll use this information for some divine purpose, never suspecting your true ghostly intentions. The king retires early these days, Catherine whispers sadly. By now he'll be all alone with just his groom in the chamber who sleeps in the antechamber. So is that just like his servant?
His personal attendant, the guy who helps him get out of bed, puts his pants on and all that stuff, I suppose.
Wipes his bum.
Yeah.
So under the cover of darkness, you slip into the secret passage with your supernatural supplies. The narrow corridor is dimly lit by a single candle Catherine provided, its flickering light casting eerie shadows on the stone walls. Perfect ambience for what's about to unfold. You quickly apply your Halloween makeup with artistic precision, transforming yourselves into ghastly apparitions. Kim becoming the terrifying spectre of Elizabeth of York, Henry's mother, with hollow cheeks and sunken eyes. Alice takes on the stern, judgmental visage of Henry VII, the miserly king whose shadow Henry VIII had so tried desperately to escape. With your smoke machine primed and sheets draped in spectral fashion, you creep to the end of the passage. Beyond the hidden door lies the king's bedchamber where the 31-year-old monarch sleeps. You can hear the distinctive royal snoring through the wall.
I love the idea that you've got your smoke machine under one arm and it's just like blowing out smoke. Because you won't know what it is.
Yeah. It's dark.
So you slowly, carefully open the hidden door. The king's chamber is opulent, dominated by an enormous four-poster bed with rich crimson hangings. A fire burns low in the grate, casting just enough light for your purpose. Henry VIII, still handsome despite his advancing years, lies sprawled across the bed, his red gold beard catching the firelight. You activate the smoke machine, sending a ghostly fog rolling across the floor. The mechanical whir causes Henry to stir slightly, but he doesn't wake. You position yourself at the foot of his bed, adopting poses of parental disappointment. Thumbs down. Henry, Alice moans in a deep, otherworldly voice. The king's eyes snap open. He bolts upright, clutching the bed covers. Don't you recognise us? Kim wails, the smoke swirling around both of you. It's father and mama! Henry VIII, the most powerful man in England, lets out a scream that would wake the dead if they weren't already apparently standing at the foot of his bed. His face goes from sleep flushed to deathly pale in an instant. Mother! Father! He stammers, eyes wide with terror. This cannot be! You are gone to your rewards! What terrifying parental wisdom do you plan to impart on the trembling King of England?
First of all.
And can we hear your ghostly voices as you impart this, please?
My ghostly voice would just be like, Henry! First, you have money to furnish your messy room like this, but you couldn't give us the 10,000 masses. You know, we specifically asked you 10,000 masses for our souls. And what did you do? 5. This is how you treat your mama.
Now look what you did. Your mother's crying.
He definitely has got a hint of the Sopranos about him, Henry VII. I love it. Your mother, she's crying.
Yeah.
What about one of your roasts? Your roasting jokes?
I could say you're such a disappointment. I'll keep it simple. Say, your son, you're so rotten. Your jizz is moldy.
I'm so intrigued to see how Claude reacts to that.
And be like, and that's why you don't have a son.
Or you could say ejaculate if you don't think that jizz will come
Claude
across.
knows what jizz is.
Yeah.
Does he? Yeah, I bet he does. Dirty boy.
Magnificent, hitting Henry right in his Catholic guilt complex and his virality insecurities. A devastating combination. Henry's face contorts with horror as Mama berates him about the insufficient masses. The Tudor kings were notoriously paranoid about their family members languishing in purgatory, and this strikes him to his core. Mother, I thought the 5,000 would be sufficient.
No, you did 5, not 5,000.
We'll pick him up on that.
Okay.
I had so many expenses with the French campaign, and Henry baubles, fully believing he's speaking to his deceased mother's ghost. But when father delivers the brutal blow about the mouldy jizz, Henry's terror transforms into something even more potent, absolute mortification. His masculine pride, the core of his kingly identity, directly attacked by his father's ghost. Father, how dare you speak of such? He begins, but he stops, remembering he's addressing what he believes is the angry spirits of his parents. His face cycles through an impressive array of emotions: fear, shame, outrage, and finally a desperate desire to appease. This is about the Queen, isn't it? He whispers hoarsely. And my thoughts of setting her aside. The smoke machine continues to billow dramatically, creating an otherworldly atmosphere that enhances your ghostly appearance. Henry actually crosses himself, something he'll eventually forbid as the head of church in years to come. What must I do to earn your forgiveness, to ensure your soul's rest in peace, he pleads, sweat beading on his forehead. A noise comes from the antechamber. His groom of the chamber must have heard the commotion. You have mere moments before someone else enters the room.
Oh, this dick. All right.
It's all right. We just deliver a message.
So we got to get to the point. Yeah. We got to get to the point. We say, duh, it's about Catherine. Don't even think about setting her aside or going for that Anne Boleyn girl. You can have your normal affairs. But Catherine's your wife. Mary's your heir.
The Catholic Church is the church. None of this, other church nonsense. Also, I want 100,000 masses.
Yes.
100,000.
And stop being an ass.
Also, eat your vegetables.
Eat some damn
Have a
vegetables.
salad once in a while. Jesus.
Would it kill you?
And clean your room.
And if that groom comes in here, we're going to have to smite him.
You know this about Catherine, Kim wails as Henry's ghostly mother, pointing an accusatory finger. Don't you dare set her aside for that Boleyn harlot. Your mother forbids it. Henry shrinks back against the headboard, visibly shaken. But I need a son. England must have a male heir. Mary is your heir, Alice thunders in the dead king's voice. Your daughter is our royal blood. That should be enough. The smoke swirls more intensely around you both, as Henry trembles beneath his brocade coverlet. As for our souls, Kim continues, floating closer with surprising theatrical menace.
Floating, are you?
5,000 masses, a pittance. We demand 100,000 masses for our eternal peace. Henry nods frantically. Yes, I'll commission them immediately. And eat some fucking vegetables. Alice roars, causing Henry to actually flinch at this otherworldly profanity. And would it kill you to eat a salad once in a while? Look at you, no wonder your jizz is mouldy. The king looks absolutely mortified, clutching his nightshirt. I shall eat more greens, I swear it on my crown. And clean your room, Kim adds, gesturing to the royal garments strewn about. Disgraceful. No wonder God hasn't blessed your loins. The door to the antechamber rattles. Your Majesty is all well, calls out a concerned voice. Henry's eyes dart to the door, then dart back at you in panic. Send him away, Alice commands, or we shall smite him where he stands. Do you want that on your conscience as well, son? All is well, Henry bellows at the door with surprising force for a man in his position. Leave me, I'm at prayer, private prayer. Go. Yes, Your Majesty, comes a confused reply, and the footsteps retreat. Henry turns back to you, his face pale and sweaty. Is there anything else you require of me, blessed spirits of my parents? The smoke is beginning to thin. You need to make your exit soon. What final commands do you have?
Okay, as we're walking, kind of like floating backwards away, I can just hit him with one more. What's the difference between Henry VIII and an ulcer? One is a festering, bacteria-ridden, oozing pit that brings nothing but pain. And the other is an affliction that affected Henry VIII's legs.
Burn!
That was a good one, Alice. That was a good one.
Thank you. And then we leave.
As you float backwards towards the secret passage, Alice delivers this devastating punchline with perfect deadpan delivery. The smoke swirls dramatically around you, beginning to dissipate, but still creating an ethereal effect. Henry VIII's jaw drops in shock at this supernatural disrespect. For a moment, he seems torn between terror and outrage. After all, no one would dare speak to the King of England this way. But fear wins out, and he's convinced he's witnessing the angry spirits of his parents. I shall remember your commands, he stammers. Catherine stays as queen, Mary as the heir, 100,000 masses, vegetables, and clean my room. You disappear.
Good job.
That's so absurd.
You disappear into the secret passage just as the smoke clears, leaving Henry alone in his bedchamber. The next morning, the court is ablaze with strange rumours. The king has ordered an unprecedented number of masses to be said for his parents' souls. He's instructed the cooks to include more vegetables in his diet, and most surprisingly, he's been seen treating Queen Catherine with renewed affection, even publicly holding her hand during morning mass. And when Anne Boleyn attempts to catch his eye during breakfast, Henry deliberately looks away, his face turning slightly pale as if remembering a terrifying nightmare. Congratulations, time travellers! You have successfully altered a significant event! Yay! Victory achieved. Wow, well done.
Congratulations. I wasn't sure it was going to work when it was like, at first, that seems pretty ambitious. But you've won Claude over, it seems.
Yeah, you should get Claude's number. What's your snap? Claude the AI.
Has it given us any kind of epilogue, Ryan?
Yeah.
How is everything different?
Yes, it's given an epilogue. It says, you've successfully altered a historically significant event. So, in this new timeline, Henry VIII remains married to Catherine of Aragon, with Princess Mary as his heir. His break from Rome never occurs, and England remains a Catholic nation. Anne Boleyn eventually marries another nobleman, living a long and unremarkable life without losing her head. The religious wars that plagued England are avoided, though without the Anglican Church and the later Puritan movement, the American colonies developed quite differently.
Oh.
So, the Tudor dynasty continues through Mary's line, creating a vastly different European power balance. All because two time travellers with a smoke machine, some Halloween makeup, and the audacity to shame the king about his mouldy jizz changed the course of history.
Okay, so we can't confirm that things were worse.
No. But it sounds like, the other 6 wives were okay.
Yeah, that's all we.
They didn't have to be married to Henry VIII. They didn't get imprisoned. So Catherine didn't get thrown in prison. Anne Boleyn didn't lose her head.
That one didn't die.
Jane Seymour didn't die in childbirth. Catherine Howard didn't lose her head.
Yeah.
And Catherine Parr, it's a lateral move for her, really. But she also didn't have to deal with Henry VIII and his leg ulcers.
Yeah.
And then, am I missing one?
Divorce, beheaded, died. Divorce, beheaded, survived.
Anne of Cleves, but I think they weren't married very long, were
She
they?
had she just had her own shit going on anyway. So I think she had a pretty okay deal.
But in this scenario, she just stayed
She's fine.
where she was, and she had a fine deal anyway. She was rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I asked it for a summary of what happened to the no longer wives, and they all basically had lovely lives and didn't know how close they came to it,
That's
apparently.
nice.
So, there you go.
Well, congratulations. I think I've got to say, in terms of PastMaster, that's 2 for 2. You guys have absolutely smashed it. You got the knack.
A lot of it has to do with how much we charmed Claude, because we didn't use Claude before.
No.
That was GPT, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really could have fucked us.
Yeah. And also you asking Claude to be nice to us. The PS.
Yeah, I do wonder how much of an impact that had on it. Yeah. Because the thing is, like, what you don't want is you can't even get into the castle because the guards at the gate don't let you, and you're like,
I know.
Yeah. Like, really? I came all this way.
Yeah. I mean, we got a small machine
Now
and
just
everything.
let me get past. Yeah.
But I think maybe the cloth merchants thing was good, because if it had been me playing, I would have claimed I was, I don't know, something absurd, like I had a rugby ball for him, or like a fighting stick, and they would be like, no, not having that. But cloth was just like on point.
You tried to get directly to Henry rather than in through Catherine.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I'm just focused on the king, whereas you guys, you've circumvented traditional, the male hegemony, and you've gone to the queen, which was ideal. I would have definitely got involved in some sort of like shred off on the lute against Henry VIII, and it would have been. I don't know if that would have worked.
I think we talked about this before, like on computer games where you land and it's like an open world game, and I just have this tendency to like, right, run to the final boss. Like, don't go do any of the side missions. Just try, and of course it never works. You've got to ease your way in gently. You've got to find the cloth merchant and strike your own path.
What have we learned? What have we learned from today's adventure, Ryan, would you say? What have you learned about King Henry VIII?
That he was terrified of his parents, which I didn't know. Is that true?
We know that he loved his mama. And that they were very kind and indulgent parents to him. I think he was spoiled. He got whatever he wanted.
I've learnt that, I'm just trying to scroll up to see the line, that it said something like, despite his age advancing years or something, and it said he's 31.
I know. I was like, excuse you?
Did you clutch your pearls, Ryan?
Yeah.
That's not advancing. He's young.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Catherine was older than him.
Yeah, but
by
she was
6 years.
married. She was supposed to be married to his son. To his brother, right? He died.
Well, I've got to say, I'm definitely going to be tuning into your Tudor era when you guys get going with that. I really enjoyed watching Wolf Hall. I find Hilary Mantel's books really hard work for some reason, but they made a brilliant TV show. And what's the name of is it Mark Rylance who plays
Yes.
the Thomas Cromwell, doesn't he? He's brilliant in it. Lots of little looks, and I think that's great fun. I can't wait.
Yay!
Yeah, we're very excited to actually know anything real about the Tudor era and not just kind of float around in it and drop sick burns.
Yep.
So I asked it the standard question, who would play you in the film adaptation of today's adventure, and it suggested Kim would be portrayed by Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, nice.
Capturing your deadpan delivery with the devastating antidote.
I like her. Yeah, she's cool.
And Alice would be played by Tilda Swinton.
Oh,
okay.
Whose ethereal presence and commanding voice would make for a terrifying convincing.
Yeah. She's got a masculine energy.
I have
like
a crush on her.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And now, so Henry VIII would be Nicholas Hoult, and Catherine of Aragon would be Penelope Cruz.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Okay.
Oh, and directed by Taquita Waititi.
Oh,
Perfect.
What? That's amazing.
Lovely.
So there you go. It says the film would feature an extended scene of Henry VIII eating a large bowl of salad while looking miserable.
It's just the whole end credits.
He's crying.
Credits roll over his face. No.
I think there's another AI picture, Ryan, of you as Henry VIII.
Oh, dear.
Are you going to be Ryan, Catherine of Aragon, and Henry VIII?
We'll put our faces on anything these days.
He's
Well,
boiling.
awesome. Thank you so much for joining us again. It's been an absolute thrill to have you on the show. Where can our listeners hear more about you?
You can find our podcast, Fetch the Smelling Salts, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all other fine podcast platforms.
Hit us up on Instagram at Fetch Smelling Salt.
Is it too early to say when can people tune in to hear your Tudor chapter?
Oh, yeah. So we're recording it this week. And it is dropping on the 10th of April. So, yeah. So April is Tudor month. So we'll have a whole Tudor episode coming on the 10th of April, and then 2 weeks after that we'll be talking about Wolf Hall Season 1.
Nice.
Well, as always, we love hearing from our listeners, so do get in touch with us. Instagram, pastmasterpod, or drop us an email, pastmasterpod@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of today's adventure. And yeah, please do leave us a comment, leave us a review, And what else, Dan? All the usual.
All the usual things. Just get in touch, tell us what you think. And do make sure you check out Fetch the Smelling Salts, because their podcast is sick. And it's so much fun.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Awesome. Oh, wait, before we go, here's an AI song of today's adventure. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, sick. What? Oh, I love that.
Him and Alice on the scene, creeping so smooth, with smoke machines ready, got something to prove. Spying on the king, Henry no clue. We're here to shake him up, change him, it's true. Beneath the palace lights, shadows start to loom. With makeup on our faces, it's time to bring doom. Watch out, Henry VIII, here to teach. Gonna rattle your crown, show you what we preach. History's got some lessons, it's time to learn, or Henry Fetch the Smelling Salts will return. In the halls of power, secrets whisper below. We're ready to confront, let our intentions flow. Disguised as angels, we'll swing to the beat. You won't see us coming, it's a trick and a treat. The wives of your past that call on your name will make you tie your room, it's part of the game. Watch out, Henry VIII, get to teach. It'll rattle your crown, show you why we preach. History's got some lessons, it's time to learn. Oh, Henry Fetch the Smelling Salts every turn.